and welcome to another podcast episode of Indigenous Roots and Hoots, produced by the Legacy of Hope Foundation. Indigenous Roots and Hoots is about Indigenous people and culture, past and present success stories and inspiring stories about Indigenous people and what they are doing today. Whether it's arts, music, sports, business, education, and so on, Indigenous people are affecting positive change in their communities throughout Canada. Our aim is to create a better awareness about Indigenous peoples to help bridge the gap of understanding for the reconciliation process in Canada to grow. Thank you for joining us. Today's guest is Stephen Jerome. Stephen is from the First Nation reserve called Gesgapegiag, which is located on the Bay of Chaleur region in the Gaspé Peninsula. He is Mi'kmaq and an ancestral rib basket maker using the black ash tree. A family tradition, Stephen was taught the art of basket making by his father Francis Jerome over 40 years ago. Stephen often travels to other First Nations to teach this form of art to try to keep his culture alive, and he's doing it. On his home reserve is where you will find Stephen's workshop called The Ash Hole. That's right, Ash Hole. In 2016, Stephen's wife Heather Kondo made a film called My Father's Tools through production company Wapakoni. My Father's Tools is a short 6-minute documentary showing from A to Z how a basket is made. The film went viral and caught the attention of the Sundance Film Festival and was specifically chosen to screen with actor and filmmaker Robert Redford's Look and See, A Portrait of Wendell Berry in 2017. It was also chosen by National Geographic and Imaginative in Toronto, as well as over 60 other film festivals all over the world. We encourage you to check it out. Stephen loves to teach his craft, share the love of his culture, and keep the ancestral tradition of ash basket making alive.
Hello and welcome to this podcast of Indigenous Roots and Hoots, produced by the Legacy of Hope Foundation. I'm your host, Gordon Spence, and today our guest is Stephen Jerome from the Gesgapegiag First Nation on the Gaspé Peninsula in Quebec. Hello, Stephen. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. Nice for having me on your show. Thank you.
Absolutely, and welcome again. And maybe we could start by talking a bit about your family background, where you grew up, your cultural identity, and a bit about your home community.
Yes, my name is Stephen Jerome. I was brought up on the Gaspé Peninsula in the Bay de Chaleur area on a Mi'kmaq community called the Gesgapegiag First Nation. It's numbers 52, and we are the Mi'kmaq people. What my family did all our lives growing up was making baskets, out of black ash. It all started with way back. I have footage of my great-grandfather in 1939, 1940 making the baskets that he taught my great-grandfather, my great-grandfather taught my father, and my father had taught me. And also, my mother was involved on that. So, what? Our family is we're called the rib basket makers. We're there's not many families, not many people doing this type of baskets anymore because, it's mostly just our family.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
just before we move ahead here, about a little bit about your home community. How big is it? And what's the population? What's all in your community? What's on the reserve?
in our Gesgapegiag here, we have a lot of basket makers. We have fancy basket makers. We have there's people that do beading work. There's fishermen. There's hunters. There's a lots going on with people living off the land stills. And what we do, I help the community by preparing black ash for the ladies. The reason why I have to prepare the black ash for the ladies is their husbands or other people that can no longer do it. So I have a team that prepares the black ash. We pick it, we process it, we do everything from my home here.
Wow.
And I have a shed connected to my house, so it's like it's very convenient.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the craft itself, the basket making. It goes back, you say, many years, for several generations. What is it? What do you use a tree? It's called the red red ash tree. Is that what you said it was? And
No, the ash that I work with is called the black ash tree. That's the only tree that we use to make our baskets with. The other tribes use other different wood, but mostly the Mi'kmaq Nation and Maliseet, Mohawk, that we all use the same wood, and it's the black ash tree. And there's an abundance of that in our area here because we have a nice river with a bunch of islands, and it's just the perfect conditions for the black ash tree to grow.
now, does the black ash does that tree grow wild in your area?
Yes. Well, over here, there's like along the river, it grows in the water, a swamp. We have a lot of islands that have a lot of sand, and it grows where the fiddleheads grow. It shares that environment with the poplar tree also, and it's a tree that requires a lot of water, not too much sun, and it grows good when it's in the shadow of the poplar trees, the big leafy trees that makes a little covering over it, so it doesn't grow too fast.
Right.
It just grows perfectly.
Yeah. Now, do you make other things besides baskets from that tree?
Well, the only thing that I make is rib baskets. I'll make laundry basket, utility baskets, backpack, decorative baskets, any type of basket you can think of. I probably made them all.
Okay. Do you do basket making workshops for schools and private groups?
Yes. There's one thing I go all over the place. I'll go to New Brunswick. I'll go to local schools here, local areas. I'll travel to one school to another, and I'll set up groups of 10 to 15 people at a time, and I'll spend a weekend in their community, and I'll teach them the basics of making a basket. Then I go later on, and I'll teach them how to prepare the ash also. So it's if you know how to make the basket, you got to know how to prepare the material also. So that just gives them a taste at the start. So when they like it, they'll say, well, we need to prepare the material also. So I'll take them in the woods, and we'll start from A and right to Z. So
Right.
and it's working out pretty good.
Yeah. Are you? We had a basket making workshop, the Legacy Hope Foundation. I'd say maybe a couple of years ago. Were you the person that was here in Ottawa doing that for us? I can't
Yes,
remember.
I was there. I was
You were-
there. I was there with Teresa Edwards.
Right. Yeah.
A couple years back. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so we met. Okay, so it just kind of clicked. Okay.
Were you in my class?
Yes, I made a basket. I gave it to my
Awesome.
wife. Yeah. She
Oh,
loved it.
wow.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll be up in your area also. Again, I'll be doing a 60 scoop on the October 28th and 29th in Ottawa.
What do you mean 60 scoop?
The 60 scoop reunion.
Oh, a reunion. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They're going to have a reunion. I think this is the fifth one that they're
You're
doing.
gonna have a basket making workshop?
Yeah, we're going to be there. We're going to be in a barn.
Wow.
Doing,
Okay.
let's say, about 40 applicants so far.
Yeah. Now, do you is this like a business, a money making business for you?
Well, the time I put to prepare the wood, everything, for me, it's a vacation. It's
Yeah.
time away from what I'm doing, and go see other places, go see other communities. And, I make some money, there's some profit off of it, but the amount of work I put into it, it's very time consuming.
Yeah.
Preparing all this wood for everybody. It's
Yeah.
just, that's why we made a film called My Father's Tools, just that my wife made with Wapakoni
Yes.
Mobile.
Yeah. That's actually leading up to my next question. But before we get to that, I want to ask you about when we were making the baskets with you. I found it like very relaxing and very therapeutic. I don't know how other people felt about it. What do you think?
For me, I wake up in the morning, it's a passion. I also use it as therapy, because I follow the red road. I'm on the sobriety of going on 18 years now, and from drugs and alcohol. every day, my wife would ask me, "What are you doing today?" Well, sometimes I'd tell her, "Well, I got to go work on my sobriety, go in the shop and go kill some time and make something to pass the day." When I have negative thoughts, but
Yeah.
for me, it's mostly therapeutic. It's mostly therapeutic. It
Yeah.
keeps me alive. There's something about the tree that keeps me alive. My
Right.
father always told me that it's going to help you in life. It's going to feed you. It's going to make everybody happy. It makes me
Yeah.
happy. I love what I do.
That is awesome. Yeah. Now, your wife made a short video about this called "My Father's Tools." Tell us a bit about this video and how it has been received.
Yeah. This whole idea came from there's a Wapakoni mobile film studio that came to our reservation back in 2016, and there was a lot of people. We'd go to the powwows and all that, and people would say, "Gee, that's your basket. Why is your basket so expensive?" and all that, and I'd have to repeat the process of splitting the wood, taking the wood, and process it and stuff like that. So my wife decided to make a video, just a quick six-minute video on going into the woods and just watching me work, choosing the tree, right from the woods, carrying it out, processing it, and ending with a beautiful little basket, just to open people's eyes. And it really worked. And Wapakoni put it on their film festival tour, and all of a sudden it got picked up by the Sundance Film Festival in Utah in 2017, and it was picked up directly by Robert Redford, which was screened with his film Look and See, a portrait of Wendell Berry. It's about a poet.
Yeah.
And it just went viral after that. Yeah.
What else has the video gone, and where else has the video gone and been recognized? You mentioned some magazines and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's been in. I did some things with some magazines. I'm on the National Geographic special presentation feature on this My Father's Tools. I was in Imaginative in Toronto. There's so many film festivals all over the world which I couldn't attend. I'd say about 70 to 75 film festivals all over the world.
Wow.
Right down to New Zealand, Chile, South America. Went to the PBS network. It just traveled all over the world.
This is with your 6-minute film?
Yeah, this is just with my 6-minute film, My Father's Tools.
Wow.
And it just went viral. It went crazy.
Yeah.
In the film, I don't talk.
Yeah.
And it's just when Wapakoni asked me to make the film, they just said, "Do your thing." So I just did my thing. Went in the woods, brought my wood in, processed. The whole shebang of the whole thing, and that was it. Put it together, 6 minutes, and that was it.
Yeah. Now, when you're traveling around to these film festivals, do you do demonstrations on your or does the films say it all? The video say it all?
Well, the video says it all, and I'll go in a crowd of sometimes there's like 500 people in the audience, and I stand up on stage and I presented a little microphone, and people would be asking me questions, and people ask me, "What's your father's tools?" And my father's tools is the teachings, what he has showed me what to do in life. These are my father's tools. Most importantly.
Now, for our listeners, if they're interested in seeing this video called "My Father's Tools," where would they find it?
Right there now, they can go on National Geographic, and all you got to type in is how to make a basket from a tree. And it also shows my whole the history of the film, the history of me with what I do and all of that. And you can also go on YouTube and just click in My Father's Tools, basket making, and you'll see the whole history of where the film has gone. And it'll show you extra stuff too,
Okay. A couple more questions, Stephen. Tell us about your upcoming appearance on CBC's live show called Still Standing with Johnny Harris.
Yeah. I have a shop here, and, it's a group of people, CBC Still Standing crew, that go around and they film the area and all that. And it got the attention of, I think it was Julia Hutchinson, and just the name of it brought them to tears. And because I work with black ash day in, day out, we decided to call it the Ash Hole, ASHOLE. And it's written in big shopping letters on the side of my house, outside of my shop. And it's just people that see the sign, they just do a rubber neck, and they just I could see the smile on their faces when they pass by. So anyway, it got the attention of Johnny Harris and the CBC Still Standing crew, and they came over, they filmed the inside and the outside. And it's all about comedy. We all have that sense of humor. You walk in, it's inviting. It's there's everything in there is all about comedy and black ash, and ash hole products sold here. And it's totally funny. Sometimes I see people driving by, and they have kids, and the kids would be screaming, "Hey, I like the ash hole," and the parents would be saying, "Don't say it like that." Well, look, it's written like that. That's how it's written. Look.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, but it's all about comedy, and there's so many puns in my shop. Yeah. But there's lots of good stuff that comes out of it. There's good teachings, it's culture, it's the language. I speak my language 100%. And I also speak French, and I speak English fluently. So, I'm a pretty easygoing guy. I join anybody, I'll talk to anybody. I'm friends with everybody.
Do a lot of people speak Mi'kmaq in your community?
I'd say there's about 60% of the people speak fluent Mi'kmaq, and I'd say there's about 40% that speak all three languages. Because over here we have a mixture of French and English all around us, so we have to, we get along with everybody around our area. We're known as people that are nice and quiet.
Oh, wow!
We're pretty quiet people.
That's interesting. I've never heard of your community, but it'd be interesting to go and visit it and check it out.
Yeah, and you got to be careful how you say Gesgapegiag. If you say it with a different letter, Gesgapegiag, it means you're itchy. You just got to watch out. You got to watch out. They'll say, "Oh, really? Are you?"
Yeah.
Okay. So you got to take it easy on it.
Right. Yeah. Be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful what you say. Asshole.
Oh yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of talk about reconciliation in these past few years, and there's different people doing different things, different organizations doing different things, and everybody seems to have a slightly different way of thinking on the word reconciliation. What are your thoughts on this whole reconciliation thing, and what does it mean to you?
Well, right there now, if it's all about the religion, stuff like that. I'm not into the religious part. I'm traditional. I follow the eagle, the spirituality part, the nature, stuff like that.
Right.
Just religion part. I've heard too many stories of my parents growing up with the priest, and all these people, the nuns in the school, how much they used to get beat, or the outside community, they had trouble out. I think we all got to get along. Right there now, I can go anywhere and do anything. I get along with everybody, and it all starts somewhere like that. Just that's my thought on that.
Awesome. Yeah. So when you come to, what's the date you're coming to Ottawa again?
I'll be there October 28th and 29th. And I have another appearance to do in December the 29th with Robin Duetta. So I think he's got something else planned for me. And I'll be in Nova Scotia in November. In October, I'll be in Nova Scotia again. I'll be in New Brunswick teaching the adults how to fix the wood and all that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen, I was on another TV show called The First People's Kitchen with Chuck Hughes.
No, I haven't seen it.
If you check it out on APTN, I was just playing today on APTN.
Okay.
It's season 1. salmon fishing in the Gesgapegiag River, and it shows a lot of footage of our river. It shows us making the baskets. Also, I show him a bit, and I cook for him also. Me cooking
Yeah.
for a chef.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you check out the First People's Kitchen, season 1, episode probably 5 or 6, and you'll be able to see a little bit of the basket making that we do. And we're also with Lee Valley Tools.
Yeah, I know them.
Yeah. So we have, I have a video with them also.
Okay.
That, it's called The Stories of the Onquehanwe.
So we're gonna try and I'm gonna try and make an effort to meet you again when you come to Ottawa, October 28th, 29th, and maybe join you making another basket, because I really enjoyed the time that you came and showed us how to do it. And also, I
I'll
want to.
probably have you in a picture, because I have a picture of everybody that made baskets with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We've been talking to Stephen Jerome, basket maker from Quebec.
Gesgapegiag First Nation.
Yes. Thank you, Stephen, for taking the time to do this and talk with us today.
Thanks for having me. Well,
okay. Good night.
Roots and Hoots is a podcast project produced by the Legacy of Hope Foundation. Music is provided by David Finkel. For more episodes like this and to learn more about the work we are doing, please visit www.legacyofhope.ca to learn more.